In the clinic, when a client comes to me with knee pain, we're not only looking at the knee, but we're evaluating and screening the entire lower body chain. So that involves a screen of the foot and ankle, an exam of the knee, and then a screen of the hip and low back. And a common deficit that I find with a lot of knee pain clients is they have really weak and/or stiff feet. So your feet are comprised of a ton of little joints and then muscles and tendons. They're really meant to be your shock absorbers. And so if your feet are functioning poorly, it means that your knees and higher up the chain are gonna take a little more load and can then get overworked and painful. So what I like to do in knee rehab is concurrently integrate some foot training into the rehab program. In this video, I want to share with you the simplest way to do that. So you can do this from a rehab perspective if you're currently navigating knee pain, or from a performance perspective if you're wanting to prevent lower body injuries. This is a way that you can integrate some foot training into your regular fitness routine or your rehab routine. So first things first, we want to train barefoot. So by removing the shoes and socks if possible. I understand if you're at a commercial gym, that's not always feasible, in which case I advocate for training in minimalist shoes. So a shoe with minimal cushion, zero drop, and then a wide toe box. But if you're at home or training somewhere that you can go barefoot, that's ideal if we're looking at really training the foot effectively. So what we want to do is we basically want to add a heel float to whatever lower body movement you're trying to train. So a split squat is a super easy way to do this, which is what I'm going to show you today. So a heel float meaning that basically, I'm gonna really actively kind of push my toes and my forefoot into the ground, but then I'm gonna allow my heel to just hover. I'm not actively doing like a calf raise, I'm just kind of removing floor support under my heel. Now, as we do this, we wanna make sure that we're not scrunching up the toes. I can't even do it, but what I see with a lot of clients is their toes will like flex up as they're kind of gripping the ground. We wanna think about elongating the toes, splaying them open as we do our heel float. So you can do it just on the ground. So let's say I was gonna do a split squat. I'm gonna come up. A lot of times for knee pain, we're just doing isometric holds. So if this was the leg I was targeting, I'm gonna get set up. I'm gonna get my toes nice and long, splayed open. I'm gonna float that heel and I'm gonna drop down to whatever range my knee can tolerate and I'm gonna hold. What I'm thinking of at my foot though is I'm really making sure that joint at the base of the big toe stays actively in contact with the ground, making sure my toes stay long and my feet are splayed open. Now, what you can also do if you have access to a squat wedge, and I like this even better, is you're gonna position the squat wedge so that it's angled down, facing you. You're gonna then get your forefoot, so the joints at the base of the big toe and your toes positioned on there. Again, I'm gonna get my toes nice and long, splay them open. And then you're really just gonna push into that squat wedge as you float the heel, and then you can drop into your split squat hold from there. I like this if you have it as an option. If you don't, just working on it from the ground will still achieve the same thing. So if you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments below. I'm also going to drop links to the minimalist shoes that I wear, as well as a link to these squat wedges. And then make sure to follow along with my channel for rehab and fitness education to try to keep your body healthy and injury-free so that you can continue to train and push your limits in the gym.